Hi, my name is Tuli and today I will take you through the first part of our activation phase. We will have a look at the general navigation of the platform, set up your personal profile, as well as set up your company level settings. Let's start by having a look at the navigation. When you log into your Teamtailor platform, this is the view that you will see. These sections that you see here are called widgets, and these are completely editable for you as the admin user of the platform. To edit these, you will need to navigate to the right-hand side here and click onto the widget library. You will be able to remove any of the existing ones by clicking on the X here. And then if you want to add, for example, a custom message for your employees, you can simply drag and drop it there and customize the message from here. On the top left side here is where you will find the main navigations of your platform. Firstly, you have the Jobs tab, where you can find all the jobs that you currently have in the platform. You have the Candidates tab, where you can find every single candidate that you currently have in the platform. You have the Content tab, where you can find everything regarding your career site, as well as everything regarding your branding aspects. You have the Analytics, where you can, for example, find job-specific analytics or employee-specific analytics, or you can also create your own custom reports. You have the Promotions tab, where you can find all your paid advertisements that you currently have active into some of your jobs. And you will also have the Employees tab, where you can add additional users into your platform. To add users into your platform, you will need to navigate to the pink plus button here on the right-hand side. You will have the option of either adding one individual user at a time, or you can also bulk add employees. Keep in mind that these people will always get an automated email message where they can then proceed to log into the platform. So if you don't want them to have access yet, just wait until you add them in. When adding a user, you will firstly need to choose an access level that you want to add them with. For example, the no access user level, like the name, can't access the platform at all. They can only get notifications whenever you do publish new job ads, and you can, for example, create a profile for them if you do still want them to be visible on the career side or in job ads, but without having any access to the platform itself. Then you have the default user. Default users can already log into the platform, they can edit their personal profile, as well as these default users can also be granted additional access to, for example, access the analytics or content. For example, a default user could be a user from your marketing team who will be helping you do the content of your careers page. The next user level we have is a hiring manager. These people can create jobs, they can edit jobs, but they do not yet have the possibility of publishing these jobs. Someone will need to proofread these for them before publishing it. That someone could, for example, be a recruitment lead. Recruitment leads can edit, they can publish, as well as promote these jobs. But what combines all of these three users is that you will always need to add them as part of a job's hiring team in order for them to have access to that specific job and also the candidates from that job. The next user we have is a recruitment admin. Recruitment admin can of course access jobs and help you with them, but in addition to that, they can also edit recruitment related settings in your platform level settings. And the very last user we have is a company admin who can do everything and anything in the platform. But if you are a little bit unsure about these access levels and what everybody can do, you can click here onto the permissions list. From there, up the top, you will be able to see the different access levels we have. And on the left-hand side, we have all the different features and functions that these people can do there. So you can then easily cross-reference on what these people can do and what they can't do. But now to add a user, all you really need to do to add them is to add an email for them, and then they can simply be added by clicking down the bottom here to add employee. On the right-hand side, you will be able to find what we call quick actions. The first one is a quick navigation which will allow you to quickly navigate in the platform and, for example, find different settings or candidates that you may have in the platform. The comments is a place where you will be able to find all your communication that may have been had within the job that you are currently a part of the hiring team for, or of course as an admin user you will have the access to all of the different communications from all jobs in the platform. You can also easily navigate to mentioned comments to see if you have been mentioned in something in the platform. Next you have a to-do section here. From here, you will be able to find to-dos that may have been assigned to you, or you can also assign tasks for yourself or some other members of the platform. To assign a task, you will simply click on the pink plus there, write your task, choose if it's only for yourself by simply then clicking the arrow up, or if you want to assign it to some other user, you can search for users from here, as well as you will have the opportunity of then specifying when you would like for this task to be done by. When a task has been added, and once you have finished with the task, you can simply just tick it off from here and it will disappear. The next tab is your Messages tab, where you will be able to find all the communication that you currently have with the candidates from your jobs. From here, you can also find team messages. So if, for example, a colleague of yours has to take a day off, you can then take over the communication with the candidates and help them out. In the Meetings button, you will be able to find all your upcoming meetings that you may have scheduled with the candidates. This will only work if you have connected your calendar with the Teamtailor platform, and we will have a look at how to do that today. Behind your bell icon is where you would find all the notifications that you set up for you to receive in the platform. When you click onto your company name, you will be able to find all of our add-on features. You can navigate to our marketplace, view your career site, as well as access your company level settings. And the very last button we have here is where you can navigate to your personal profile settings. You can also find a What's New section here, as well as navigate to our employee dashboard. Lastly, remember that if you need any help throughout your onboarding journey or journey with Teamtailor in general, you can always reach out to our support via the chat button down here. In here, when you send them a message, they typically respond within 2 minutes, or you can also search for some support articles with some keywords. Hopefully now you feel confident navigating the Teamtailor platform. Now let's have a look at your user menu and how to set up your personal profile. Now let's have a look at what we can find here. When you click to the What's New button, you will be able to see the latest changes that we have had to the platform, and it's always going to be indicated whether it's an improvement to an existing feature or whether it's a completely new feature that we have. You can also from here easily navigate to a summary of all of the recent updates that we have had. In your employee dashboard, you and your employees will be able to find all the jobs that you currently have active in your platform. From here, for example, if you do work with something like collaborative hiring, you can each work together in referring suitable candidates for the different roles in your platform. You can, of course, always customize the message that is stated here if, for example, you work with something like a referral bonus. And then from there, when hovering over these jobs, your employees and yourself, of course, will be able to refer candidates, share the job. You can view the job and apply for it yourself. And if you do apply to a job through here, you will automatically be marked as an internal applicant, as well as you will also have the opportunity of editing this job highlight to make sure that you get as many referrals as possible. When you do have multiple people referring these candidates, you will be able to get a leaderboard here to see which one of your employees referring the most and how many of those candidates have actually been hired for the positions. On the menu here, you will also be able to set your status, as well as a longer status. For example, if you're going to go on a vacation, then you can make sure that you won't be getting any notifications, or if, for example, you want to get someone else to take over your conversations while you're away. To edit your profile, you will need to click onto your name and then from there, edit profile. You will firstly be able to upload yourself an image, and this image can then be displayed as part of your job ads, as well as on your career site if you choose to do so. From there, you can customize your basic details, attach yourself to a department and location once these have been created in the platform, and you can also write yourself a short bio explaining who you are and what your role in the company is. This bio will then also be visible if somebody does navigate to your profile, for example, through that job ad. You will also have the opportunity of attaching some additional social media channels if you want your candidates to be able to find you on those. Next in your settings, you will be able to find your email signature. This is important for you to customize because it's the signature that will always get sent out whenever you do contact candidates directly through the Teamtailor platform. From there, you will also be able to edit your personal language settings as well as your time settings and how you would also like for the Teamtailor platform to appear for you. From there, as an admin user, you will also have the opportunity of choosing if you do want your profile to be visible on the career site or if not. This is also something that you can choose for your employees at the time of you adding them in through the Employees tab. Next, you'll find the Meetings tab. And in your Meetings tab, you will be able to connect your personal calendar with the Teamtailor platform. When you click to the Connect Your Calendar button, you will be able to then choose the calendar provider that you're using, link your account, and agree to some privacy policies and terms and conditions. When your calendar has successfully been connected, it will look like this. It will firstly show the calendar that it's currently reading, as well as then you will be able to connect the different video services that you're going to be using during your interviews. Where you see all of these pink boxes is where you can set your Teamtailor availability. So think of this as an additional thing to your personal calendar. So things you may not normally block from your personal calendar, such as your lunch break, you can block these times from here. Or for example, if you don't want to be available for interviews on Monday mornings or Friday afternoons. In addition to this, it will of course always read the current availability from your personal calendar, so if you are already booked, it won't double book you for other interviews. You will also be able to then limit the number of your daily meetings as well as your weekly meetings, and you can also make sure that the time zone here is correct. Next, you will be able to find your notification settings. You can receive notifications either via email, on the desktop, which will be visible here in the bell icon, or if you're using the Teamtailor mobile phone app, you can also receive notifications there. These notifications are also always editable for you, so if you feel that you're getting too many, come turn them off, and if you feel that you're not getting enough, come turn one on. The very last section in your profile is security. In the security section, you will be able to activate two-factor authentication for your account for some added security. This is also something that you as a company admin can, for example, enforce for all users to have as mandatory step whenever editing their personal profile details. Now that we are all finished setting up your personal profile, let's move on to the company level settings and edit those. When you click onto your company name, you will be able to navigate, for example, to our add-on features, where you will be able to find some additional features that may help you throughout your recruitment process. For example, throughout these activation phase webinars, you will notice that I will mention triggers, interview kits, and for example, Copilot. If you do want to activate some of these additional ones, you can simply click on it and you will be able to find the activate button here. We do have some additional paid features here that can be found in the enterprise section. However, don't worry, you can still click onto them and read more about them, as these require some additional setting up from our support. From your company menu, you will also be able to navigate to our marketplace, where you can find the different partner integrations that are possible for you to activate with the Teamtailor platform. For example, the different e-signing tools we have, HR systems, as well as all the different job boards that are possible for you to activate. When you do want to activate a partner integration or a job channel, you will simply need to click onto it and then the activate button. Most of these will require some additional configuration, and if you click to navigate go to Settings, you will automatically be taken to a section where you can start making the edits needed and finish the installations. All of your marketplace activations will automatically be found on your company level settings when you scroll all the way down to the bottom into marketplace activations. Next, we have our organizational settings. In here, you will be able to set up all the different departments and roles that you have within the company. These departments and roles will of course always link directly to your job ads, but in addition to that, they will always link to our Connect feature. The Connect feature will always be there at the time of the candidates applying or always visible on your career site. The candidates will be able to, from here, choose a department that they may be interested in or a specific role within that department, or they will of course have the opportunity of just showing interest to you as a company. What this means is that if you, as a company, then publish a role within the department that the candidate was interested in, they will get an automated message saying that you have an open position that they may be interested in. These candidates that have shown interest to you as a company or to a department will always be found here in your Candidates tab, and they will always have the tag Connected. To add departments, you will need to click to the pink plus here on the right hand side. From there, you will need to give this department a name, choose a manager if you have one, and then from there you will simply be able to type down all the roles that you have. In addition to that, you will also be able to customize a welcome message that the candidates would receive if they do connect with this specific department, as well as you can also add some questions that they can then answer to once they have access to their personal Connect dashboard. Next, we have our location settings. You can create individual locations here, or you can also group these locations under different regions. To create your locations, you will simply need to click on the plus here, and when typing down an address, you can either type down a specific address or just choose a generic area. But what's important is that you choose that location from the drop-down menu here. And that is so that this location can be placed on a Google map that will then help the job boards display your jobs in the correct areas. From there, you will be able to specify the contact details for this location, as well as if you do want to group it under a specific region, this is where you would do that. If you need to create new regions, you will simply be able to write the region name here and click Create. You will also have the opportunity of specifying if this location is your headquarters, or if, for example, you don't want this location to be visible on your career site. Next, if you do want to enforce the two-factor authentication, you can do that from here. If you do tick this on, it will mean that all the users will have to finish the configuration in their personal profile settings, like we had a look at earlier. Next important settings for us will be found under the templates. In the message templates, for example, you will be able to find the default responses that would get sent out to the candidates at the time of them applying, when you're rejecting them, as well as when these candidates are connecting with your company. I would highly recommend you to edit these and make them a little bit more company specific, but on this page you can also create additional message templates for you to use in different purposes. When you want to create a new message template, you will simply again need to click on the pink plus button here. In the template name section here, you will be able to specify the name of this template for internal purposes. But the subject, as well as the message, will be external and actual email messages to the candidates. You will also always have the opportunity of attaching files, as well as questions to any of your messages in the platform. You can also group these by using tags, as well as you can choose the availability for these message templates. You can either make them available for everyone in the platform, or you can limit the availability to departments or locations. Next, in your template settings, you will be able to find your job templates. In here, firstly, what I would recommend you to have a look at is the default job template. This will be the template used whenever you go to create either completely new job ads or even when you go to create completely new templates for you to use. Into your default job template, you can add any kind of generic information that you know that you will always have as part of every single one of your job ads. If you do want to create job-specific templates or any new templates, you will have to do that from the pink plus button here. When creating templates, this follows the same logic when creating a completely new job. You will need to specify the title, descriptions, and all the other details. The next setting we will have a look at is your domain and SSL. This is where you can choose what kind of a domain you want for your TeamTailor career site. At the moment, it will be something like companyname.teamtailor.com, but if you would like for it to be, for example, companyname.careers.com or anything along the lines, you will need to edit that here. However, it will require some configuration on your end. Down here, you will be able to find a support article that can help you with the configuration. The last settings we will have a look at today will be your data and privacy settings that can be found under the tab here. In the Collect Permissions, you will be able to set up checkboxes for your candidates to tick at the time of them applying to your jobs or at the time of them connecting with you. These checkboxes will make sure that the candidates give you permission to actually store their data in your TeamTailor platform. You can either have a simple checkbox, or you can also have two checkboxes that would also then give you permission to use their data for any future job openings that you will have. When you scroll all the way down to the page, you will also find details for sourced and referred candidates. So if you are planning on manually adding people to your TeamTailor platform, you will need to set this up. To set it up, you will need to specify how quickly you would like to notify these people of you adding them into your TeamTailor platform. Once this has been set up, you can also automate this action by ticking the box down here. Once that box is ticked, the candidates in this case, for example, will immediately receive an email notification saying that you have added them into the platform and asking if it is okay for you to store their data. Next, in your data and privacy section, you will be able to find Manage Permissions. This is where you set your data retention period and how long you would like to store the candidate's data. You will have anywhere from 3 months to 36 months. Once you have selected a permission period, you have 3 actions that you can make. Either you will manually need to be in charge of renewing these candidates' data, or you can choose our opt-out or opt-in automated options. The opt-out message would be an automated message after 12 months that would send to the candidate saying that you will continue storing their data in the platform unless they click onto the email and say that they do not want you to continue storing their data. You will also always be able to find the email template here that would get sent out, and you can customize it if you want to. The opt-in message will again be an automated message after this 12 months, but in this case it will say that you will delete their data from the platform unless they click onto the email and say that they would like for you to continue storing their data. And again, in here you will of course be able to find the email template and make customizations to it if needed. Now that you have set up your retention period, you can also automate deleting candidates when, for example, you don't have permission to have them in the platform. From here, for example, if you do want to make sure that you don't have any candidates without permission here, you can toggle on the bottom 2. Delete candidates who submit removal request, as well as delete candidates with missing or expired permission. You of course have some other deleted actions here that you can automate. Once these have been toggled on, you will simply then be able to choose a time frame on how quickly you would like for these candidates to be flagged for the removal. And from our end, there will still be a week's retention period until these candidates are completely deleted from your TeamTailor platform. On this page, you will be able to find this blue box where you can always find the people that have been marked to be deleted, and you can then from there go and view who those specific candidates are. Lastly, in your data and privacy settings, you can find the actual privacy policy. The one that you find here has been made to fit many companies, so make sure that you have a look through it and that you're happy with everything that has been stated there. But if you do need to make any changes or you want to use your own, you can simply scroll all the way down to the bottom and edit the contents of it. Next, in your data and privacy, you will be able to find your cookie settings. The standard cookie bar is always on by default, but you can make edits to that if you want to. From there, you can see all the cookies that are currently getting read, as well as you can activate or create additional cookies if you want to. From here, you can of course always specify a cookie policy contact person as well. Now that we're finished with the first part of the activation phase, remember that there are 2 other sessions that can help you with your onboarding: job creation and candidate management, as well as your career site. Remember, if you feel that you need any help throughout the onboarding journey, you can always reach out to our support team via the chat in the platform. Happy recruiting!